Good afternoon, Floss Tube. It's Julie with Reflections Framing and Stitching. As you can tell, I am a little bit out of practice. It has been a hot minute since my last video. Today is December the 1st. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. End of the work day. I thought I'd try and do a video. I actually did a video, I don't know, a week or two ago, had it all filmed, paused it so that I could, it was a stitching day and I wanted to show what some of the stitchers were working on, so I paused the computer until they arrived, not realizing that the power strip I had the computer plugged into was not actually turned on. It was plugged into the wall, but the switch wasn't turned on. And by the time I got back to the computer to film, the battery on the computer had died, and of course I lost the video. And since then, I have been working a lot to try and get all the framing done so I could maybe have Sundays off during December. That's my goal, is try and get the house clean and get the shopping done and maybe enjoy the Christmas season a little bit by not having to work on Sundays. So I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. I'm waiting for my final shipment of frames and mats to come in, and hopefully this week, during the week, can get those put together and out the door and enjoy the rest of the month. So what else have I been doing since my last video? Well, we had retreat, which went really well. It was smaller than normal. We had a lot of people opt out, and then we had two that went home. One of them was sick. The other one came with her, so and she didn't want to let the one that was sick drive home alone, which I completely understand. So they left. They arrived one day and left the next morning, like 6:30 in the morning. So we ended up with only, I think, 29 at retreat, which is significantly smaller than our normal retreat. But it was fine. We had a good time. At least I had a good time. I can't, I suppose, speak for anybody else, but I had a good time. So anyway, I forgot to say welcome to everybody, old and new. This is a channel about counted cross stitch and my shop, Reflections Framing and Stitching, just in case you didn't know. I am out of practice, so there'll probably be a lot of ums and it'll be a little bit disjointed, but I'm hoping it all goes smoothly and you enjoy watching the video. Let's see. I have a whole bunches of piles. I've got customer stuff. I've got new models for the wall. A couple of things that there has not been a lot of stitching. I have a little bit of stitching to show you. Got some new stuff from the shop, and I have a story for Pam and Steph. I hope, Pam and Steph, that you watch this, because the story is for you. I've been watching a lot of Floss Tube, because since I've been working so many hours to try and get things caught up. Lots and lots of Floss Tube. Have not stopped to comment, and I apologize for that. I would never get done if I had to stop, and I feel bad, but I'm sorry. Just know that I'm watching and enjoying. Let's see. What else have I've been sick a couple times since my last video. I got sick right after retreat, and just getting better from that. And then I got some sort of a worst sore throat of my life. Might have been strep, I don't know. Of course, it happens the week of Thanksgiving. Nobody could get me in. I was busy, so I medicated myself, and I was hosting Thanksgiving dinner. I warned everybody that I was sick. Everybody came anyway. So far, no one has gotten sick. I would think if they were going to because of me, they probably already would have been sick. But my throat is still sore. It's kind of hanging in there. But I don't sound like a croaking frog anymore, so that's a good thing. And my energy is coming back. So it just felt like a red hot poker in my, even Tylenol and Aleve did not take care of it. I couldn't swallow. It was bad. And Dan kept looking in my throat, and he kept saying, "Oh, it don't look bad." Well, it may not look bad, but it sure felt bad. So let's see. I did get my tree up and decorated, but nothing else is done. I'm hoping to get some of that done. We're supposed to have snow tonight and tomorrow, so I'm hoping that maybe, I was looking to see if it had started snowing, which it hasn't. So I'm hoping maybe tomorrow it will be a good day to pull out all the rest of the decorations and get things decorated. Came in this morning. It's been raining since yesterday afternoon, and it rained all night, and the wind was blowing real hard, and I came into the shop this morning to find the front of the shop flooded with water again. There's a leak up on the roof. They keep thinking they're fixing it, and I keep telling them, if you don't send someone out to actually look at it when it's actively leaking, you know, I understand they can't go up on the roof and when it's, you know, raining like that, but they could come in, put a ladder, look up, you know, it's a drop ceiling, so they could lift up tiles and kind of see where the moisture is coming from and track it down that way, because I don't think they're ever going to find it the way they're doing it. So I snapped pictures of all the water damage and sent it to the landlord, and he said he'd have someone come out ASAP. Well, it's Saturday, so it's probably going to be Monday, and by then it'll be dried up and they won't be able to tell where it was coming from. So it always happens on a weekend. Anyway, I'm kind of rambling a little bit. Let's see, what else do I have to say? Let's see. Adam, Abby, well, Adam and Marcia and the two girls, the granddaughters, are doing well. Dan's been spending a lot of time over there playing with the girls because I've been working. So, well, let's face it, he'd spend time over there anyway because he absolutely adores them. So, but they're all doing well. Looking forward to Christmas. And Marcia's mom and dad are coming to visit right before Christmas. I think they're going back home on Christmas Eve. And Abby and Travis are doing well. They're making plans to build a house in the spring. And Abby is currently in Napa on a birthday trip. Travis is she's with her girlfriends, and Travis is with his boyfriends. That sounds weird. Girlfriend sounds okay, but boyfriend sounds a little weird. He's with his guy friends in Vegas for the weekend, so we have possession of Lola right now. They're going to come. They were supposed to be here at our house for Christmas this year, but since Abby switched jobs, she has to be on call for Christmas, so I think it's just going to be Dan and I at Christmas because our youngest, Amy, and her significant other will not be here. Amy is in the middle of This is her 6th year of grad school. And so she's in the middle of doing all of her interviews for her internship for next year, and has to be flying all over the country to these. As of the last time I heard from her, she had 13 different interviews. She applied at 19 different places, and she has 13 interviews and 1 rejection. And so that leaves, so that's 14. So 5 more that she hasn't heard from, as far as I know. Anyway, money is tight, and she's not going to be able to. They just decided it would be better to stay there. But she will be coming to an interview in Kansas, middle of January, I think. And they're going to try and swing up here for a couple of days before they have to go to the next interview. So that's kind of what's been going on in the family. The dogs are fine. Callie ate Lola's food, which is too rich for her, so she's had tummy issues for the last 2 days. Yeah, I think that fills you in on what's been going on. Just a lot of work. And I did get the retreat piece. There it is again. I cannot speak anymore. The retreat piece for spring retreat designed, and some fabric samples ordered. And as soon as those get here, then I will pick a fabric and start the model stitching on that, which I won't be able to show you because I never show anyone before retreat. So I'm kind of ahead of the game, I think, just a little bit on that one. And yeah, I think that's it. So let's start with, how about we start with, what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with the frame pieces? Do you want to start with what's new in the store? I never really follow any kind of an outline. I think we'll start with maybe new models for the shop. How's that? Let me move this to the side for right now. Okay, I have shown you this piece unframed. And I told you the next time you saw it, it would be framed. So let's see if I can hold it up and not get any kind of glare. So that is called Merry Noel. It's a with thy needle and thread. I'd put a fillet in the inside of the frame. You can see my lights there. It's really, really dark and gloomy, so I thought added light would be nice, but it does cause some glare issues. It's stitched on 40 count vintage maritime white. And the snowflakes show up in person, but not so great on here. But anyway, I thought it turned out really cute. Very Christmas looking. And in case you're not familiar with the chart, this is what the chart looks like. Merry Noel. All right. Connie, my friend Connie, stitched up Funky Bird from Barbara Anna. Finally got it finished. It's been a work in progress for a number of, well, I think she started it when it came out, 2016. So it's been a work in progress since 2016. But she finally finished it and brought it in for framing. And she's letting me hang it on the wall until spring. So there is Funky Bird in all its glory. Love the colors on this one. Absolutely love those colors. She made a design modification on on the top just a little bit. I think she ended up making these two things even. One of them on the chart was up higher than the other, and she made it even. So, but there's that. Love the little motif in the brown there. It's really pretty. The colors are gorgeous. Love it. So there's that. Let's see. Another friend of mine. I'm kind of lucky to have some good friends, and I don't have the chart for this one. It's on order. But you'll all recognize it. It's Stitch Every Day. This one was stitched by my friend Nancy. And this is from Kathy Haberman, Hands-On Design. It's not a new design by any means. We put it on, what did we put that on? Cyprium, 32 count, I think, but I could be wrong there. I haven't written the information down yet. And we did tweak the colors just a little bit. And eventually I will have that written down. But I've always liked it, just haven't had time to stitch it. She said she would do it for me. I said, yay! And thank you. So again, thank you, Nancy. I appreciate it greatly. And the last one is actually from another person, my friend Mary. And this is a piece that Mary stitched, again, quite some time ago, and then she lost it. She could not find where she'd put it. For a while I thought maybe I had it and had lost it, but thankfully she did finally locate it, and I just finished the framing for it, and Mary's going to let me hang it on the wall. In fact, that bare spot you're seeing right there is where it's going to hang, because she says she doesn't have any space to do it. So it's Long Dog Samplers, Dawn Chorus. And this is stunning in person. Absolutely stunning. I have to slide back a little bit. I don't know if... let's try that. It's on a grayish colored fabric. I'm gonna see if I put this down for a minute, if that will help the, not really. I think that's the best I'm gonna be able to do, guys. It looks like there's two weeping eyes in the middle of it now. Anyway, the piece is stunning in person, take my word for it. The colors are gorgeous. We triple matted it. And I'm very happy to have it on the wall. Okay, hang on. Okay, that is everything that's new for the wall. Mary also finished her Farmhouse Christmas, and I finished the framing of it this past week. And it was raining, so she didn't want to take it home on Thursday. So I figured I would show it to you before she takes it home, probably on Tuesday. She did a couple of variations. We changed this was supposed to be a white house, and we changed the configuration here. And I think she changed the color of that house, but I'm not, no, maybe not. Maybe not. And then this is the border that I designed to go with it. It's got a little quilt square down here in the corner. which is actually, technically I did not design that. I did not. I took it from here and made it work here by putting the quilt block in the corner. So there's Farmhouse Christmas all finished up for you. I was going to show you, just because it's Christmas time, one from the wall that I did a few years ago called Cinnamon Christmas from Barbara Anna. There's two different versions. There's the cinnamony color and then there's the red color. I went with the red colorway. Originally I was going to do the cinnamon colorway, and then I changed my mind and decided to do the red colorway. This is stitched on 25 count Lugana Vintage Country Mocha, I believe. It's over 1 using 1 strand of floss. Absolutely love those little faces, their little pink cheeks. The reindeer up in the sky. The snowflakes are gorgeous. This was a fun one to stitch. I really liked it when I was stitching it. I think that's it for framed pieces to show you. What have I been stitching on in the few moments that I've had to stitch? Well, I'm working on my next under the dome piece, and then I started last Saturday night while I was watching Hallmark. I started a new picture. I just felt like something new, so before I left to go home last Saturday, I kitted up 3 kings. Some of you saw my start on Instagram. I am doing mine on 25 count vintage smoky white over 1 using, there's my start. Not a big start. I think last weekend I got that done, so this week I managed to get parts of the king, first king done. And I'm using Carrie's Creations, and you really can't tell in the picture that this is purple, but this is a very beautiful, it's just not going to show. It's just not going to show as purple. Maybe there a little bit. I don't know. No, probably not. Anyway, it's an absolutely beautiful silk from Carrie called Deep Purple. And I think it's going to be really pretty on there. Vintage Smoky White is a cousin of Vintage Country Mocha, which I did the Merry Christmas one, the Cinnamon Christmas on. And it's a stamped, the back side is white. So it's just, the print is stamped on there. And it has, because it's stamped, it has a grain, so to speak. And I prefer my grain to go side to side. So I end up with a little bit more waste on my fabric when I'm cutting it for folks, but I just don't like it coming up and down. Just my personal thing. So there is 3 kings. Eventually I would like to do, there's a couple others. There's the Shepherds and there's Bethlehem. And I would like to do those 2 also, but I don't know when that'll happen. The other thing well, this one I haven't worked on since retreat, so, you know, third week in October, and we're in December now. But you've seen it before. It's Pains of Love. That's what it looks like. And again, not a whole lot done. I think since the last time I showed it to you, I brought this over so I could jump down and do this. And I still have, I got this little yellow doodad over here that's got to go over here yet. And then I think that area is done. And then I added this area right in here. So that is on 40 count. Vintage lentil from Lakeside Linens. And it's just using DMC. So someday I will get back to it. But today will not, well, maybe no. Today will not be the day. And that is all I have worked on. Dan is still working on his map of Hawk Run Hollow, and he's finished the 8th ornament in Hands On Designs White Christmas series. I started the finishing on them. I have not got them done yet. It's on my list of things to do on the Sundays that I'm not working in December. But I don't know if it'll happen. That would bring us to what's new in the store. There's been a lot since the last time. I am not going to pull everything. You've probably seen everything anyway, but I will go over. I pulled a few things. I picked up these cute little scissors that have the cover for the ends, the protective cover. They come in different colors. I just happen to only have the lime green left. Everybody's bought the other 2 colors I had. And I do have little needle cases that go with that also. Those are cute. They've been selling well. Madame Chantilly has 2 adorable charts out. One's called Santa and the Cat. And she's given you different kitties, 4 different kitties to choose from. So, you know, if your kitty looks like this, then you can put your kitty there. If it looks more like the black kitty, then you can stitch the black kitty. It's really cute. Great idea. And there's all, she didn't forget us dog lovers, Santa and the Dog. And there's actually 6 options for the dog. Look, there's a wiener dog. There's a little I'm going to guess West Highland White Terrier, German Shepherd. Yeah, aren't those adorable? Don't you love that? I absolutely love it. Blackberry Lane Designs, Winter Snow Owl. Gorgeous, stunning. Once again, Marie has hit it out of the park. Absolutely stunning. It's almost like you could reach out and touch it. Everybody's been clamoring for Merrily, Merrily, We Welcome Spring. I think this is a beautiful, beautiful chart. I'm having a hard time seeing spring, though. When I look at it, it just, to me, reads Christmas. So I have to keep reminding myself when I'm trying to pick fabrics for people that that want it to look like spring, that it is technically a spring chart that reads Christmas to me for some reason. But I did pull the flosses for you and the fabric that it's called for, which is Oaken. You can picture this plus. My Oaken has two different colorways. I have the pinker Oaken, which is not going to show up pink in this, but this is pinker and this one is greener. I prefer it on the pinker piece, but I technically don't have any left. This is a big piece. The stitch count on this thing, and you need a lot of floss for it too. 273 by 275. Calls for 36 count Oaken. Couple of the fibers you're going to need more than one skein, depending, especially, I mean, on 36 count using one strand, you still need 2 of the baked apple, 2 of the palomino, and 2 of the putty. Baked apple has been back ordered for quite some time. And you're going to need a lot more if you're doing it on 32, and you're going to need to use 2 strands. So just to let you know, I've only pulled one of each. Let me get them laid out here and try and hold it up without dropping them, because there's a lot of colors, lots, pretty colors. It's a beautiful piece. I'm not responsible if they fall, and I can't see, so oops, we lost one. Dove. There. That is what it looks like on Oaken. Hopefully I was holding that in the right spot. Now if your shop is out of Oaken, I think it would look equally as good on, this is Heritage, which is green, but it still has that very splashy, blotchy look that kind of gives that picture some age. And I think the colors will look good on it too. Oh dear. It's kind of blowing it out, but Heritage is a green. Pretty fabric. I know some people have a problem with green. I happen to really like it. So, and if that doesn't work, again, picture this plus. Has a color called Fresco. Fresco has pink and green in it. And you can see that pink. It's not an in-your-face sort of thing, and then there's the kind of greeny blue. But I think these colors would lend itself well on this fabric also. It's gonna fall. I've fallen and I can't get up. Oh, jeez. Gee willikers. It's a very neutral fabric, and then just has those splashes of pink and green in it. But I think the colors all pop on there too. So any of those would work for you. One of my gals, hang on just a minute. Sorry, someone just walked in the door and we're closed. One of the gals that comes here and stitches on Tuesdays and Thursdays went to the class. This was originally a class piece, and she went to the class, and I guess this was part of it. It's using elements of that sampler. So this is her finish. It's on one of those book boxes. And I think that's done on the Oaken. That's done on the brown Oaken. The very first batch of Oaken I got, it was brown. It was beautiful. Then it came and it was a little pink. And then it came and it was green. So I think this is done on the actual brown Oaken. But that gives you an idea of what it kind of looks, the colors look like stitched up. She's letting me display that in the shop too. Let's see. Let's go on here to Sugar and Spice from Little House Needleworks. Very cute little Christmassy design. I am now carrying Twin Peak Primitives designs, so, and I have a lot of them, but I pulled one or two, can't remember how many, but this is Snowmakers, which I thought was really cute. It's got a couple of gals here and little thread bobbins. They've got needles, so they're making the snow, which I thought was really, really cute. Like the animals down there in the bottom, the scissors hanging off. Looks kind of like one of those white milk glass flower frogs, you know, that we use to hold our scissors. It's kind of what it reminds me of. But I thought that was a really cute chart. Little Dove Designs. This is very reminiscent to me of Lizzie Kate. That's who I was trying to think of. It looks to me like a Lizzie Kate design, but it's really cute. And they also have Adjust Your Sails, which says life isn't about waiting for the winds to change, it's about learning to adjust your sails. And I don't know what you could find not to like in this. It's really cute. The colors are beautiful. Look at the little jellyfish. It's got a cool boat, whales, anchors, fishies, waves, lighthouses. Really cute. Carriage House Samplings has a couple of feed sacks, the sheep feed sack. And it uses 310 and 3865. So you can't get much easier than that. And then Weeks Dye Works Havana in 30 count. The other feed sack is the reindeer feed sack. This one is stitched on 30 count tin roof gingham, which looks absolutely nothing like that. So I went ahead and pulled it from the cubbies. Yeah. So, just know that it's not that light beigey color. It is greeny, and those are the two colors that go on it, and it would be stunning. I like that one. I like it a lot. If I enjoyed stitching on 30 count, I might even consider doing that one, but oof, 30 count. I just don't like it. Kathy, Hands On Design, has released the Year of Celebrations. It was in magazine. She's added 2 bonus designs for Canadians. And she's done this little clipboard. And if you watch her FlossTube video, she tells you exactly how to do that clipboard. I know my people well, and they don't like to make things, so I did make a couple. You get this comes in a package of 6, so I made 6. When they're gone, they're probably gone. I don't know that I'll make any more, but they were easy enough to make. It's just by the time you buy all the materials, even on sale and using a thing, you're going to have time and money invested. So I thought, well, I'll just make a few, and if they sell, they sell. If they don't, I'll use them for something else. Let's see, where am I at? Ah. Long Dog has another new one. Well, two new ones. It's got one called Crosswords, which I'm out of. And then Descending Order, which is beautiful. Would you look at that? Look at that. Look at that. It's gorgeous. I'm going to read the little back here. It says, Descending Order chronicles in stitches 5 generations of feisty women. My grandmother, the red-haired firebrand suffragette, born in 1884. My mother, Leonie Hendricks, born in 1913, just before the outbreak of World War I. Myself, born in 1947, just after World War II. My daughter, Lisa Denmar, a New Age spirit, born in 1973. And my granddaughter, the circus performer, Jasmine Webb, born just before the millennium in 1997. So, isn't that pretty? Pretty, pretty, pretty. And the colors, oh my God, you got to see the colors. You just gotta see these colors. Purples, blues, greens. Look at that. Now they're looking a little more blue on my screen. She doesn't give a fabric choice, but I picked a few. Of course, I picked a few that I thought would work. And again, I like green. You probably don't, but I like green. So, and this one is, what is this called? Sea Fog. It's an R&R, I believe. And I think those colors would be really pretty on that. Very pretty on there. Or, if you like a chillier, colder look, this is Winter Wishes from Hand Dyed by Stephanie, which is a really beautiful gray. Don't call asking for it because I have very little left and my order has not shown up. But it would be very pretty on there. And if you are more of a neutrally, I don't want color behind it, Lakeside Linen's Vintage Porcelain is a real pretty color. Not quite white. Kind of an off-white. Be very pretty. So one of you quick stitch that up so I can see it stitched in person. Get on that, like, now. Right now. I think this is going to be the last. I think this is going to be the last one. Again, Twin Peak Primitives, Rustic Christmas Series, Plaidville. Isn't that stinking cute? I love it. Plaid is really big right now. I pulled the colors, and it uses for the houses, the buildings, $3.49, which is coral, and $37.05, which is melon, which are these two colors. Not my first choice. So I kind of played around a little bit with different reds, and it uses, so it's got in, I don't know if you can tell, it's got the black squares, and then it's got a slightly darker red and a brighter red in there. So I played around, and I've got this color combination, but I'm not sure that's going to be, until I stitch it, I'm not sure that's going to be enough difference. Just FYI, it's 817 and 666. Or possibly this combination might be better. And that is 815 and 321. So I will probably try stitching a little sample of the colors and see which one I like better. Because I think I'm going to have to stitch that at some point, not anytime soon, or maybe Dan will stitch it. I'll have to ask him if it's something that would interest him. These are the rest of the colors, and I have put this on, what have I put this on? 40 count vintage flagstone. This is a significantly large piece also. It's 424 long and 78 in stitches high. So it's not a tiny piece, but those are the rest of the colors that are called for, except for this is the doors on a couple of the buildings, and I don't particularly care for that, so I think I'm gonna swap out the called for. 434 is used for the trunk of the tree. I think I would prefer that for the doors, and I darkened up the trunk of the tree to 838. Otherwise, I left the greens and the yellows, oops, alone. And I kind of like it on this grayish. There's brown in this gray on the vintage flagstone. It's kind of in that in-between gray and brown color. And I really like the colors on there, so that's probably what I will do. That is everything I have kind of to show you. I do have I don't normally do a what I'm all into, but I do have something that I ordered for the shop. I opened up an account with a distributor, and they require that your opening order be X amount of dollars, and then you have to spend X amount of dollars in the next 12 months or they close your account. And I was having trouble reaching I think it was 350 was the opening order, which is for me, now other shops it's probably not a big deal, but for me 350 is a lot of money. And I was having, if I didn't need the one item that they carry, I probably would not have done it, but I did need it and I couldn't find it anywhere else, so I opened up the account and I was trying to find things to get to my $350, and I stumbled upon, and if you're a quilter, you probably already know what this is. but I had never seen it before. I used to quilt. Years ago I used to quilt until the great quilt debacle, where I sucked up the pieces in the vacuum cleaner and had to start over. And that was the last quilt I ever made. It's, I think, been I gave it. It was a gift. I gave it to the person, and I think it's probably in their closet, and has been for the last 15, 20 years. So I do not quilt anymore. Number one, I can't sew a straight line to save my soul. I found it very stressful because everything just didn't line up perfectly. And then, you know, you just suck your quilt up in the vacuum cleaner, it shreds it to pieces, and that pretty much just nailed that coffin shut. We're not doing that. But anyway, if you're a quilter, you probably already know what this is. It's called a zircle. And it's, you know, you have those magnetic things that you dump your pins in, and they're just all in a bunch, and you go to dive in for a pin, and you poke yourself. And well, it's a circle magnet, so when you dump your pins on there, they go whoosh, out like that. Isn't that cool? So most of you probably won't think that's cool, but for me, who needs to get pins for stretching cross stitch, this is just so frickin' easy that I don't have to poke myself. Some of them even stand up, and you can just grab them like that. Look. I love it. I absolutely love it. So that's what I'm all into. That and eggnog. I know not everyone likes eggnog, but I look forward to this time of the year so I can have my fix of eggnog. It's not spiked eggnog, it's just regular old eggnog from Land O'Lakes, and I love my eggnog. I make a mean eggnog punch. I have an open house on for my neighbors. Well, we used to, when we had the village up, we used to do a big open house so that everybody could come in and see the village and what was new in the village, and I, you know, have food and drinks, and one of the things I made was an eggnog punch, and even people that don't like eggnog love the punch. And now we just have our neighbors come over one evening before Christmas, and I make the eggnog punch, and we play dominoes and have snacks and hang out for an evening, which is about the only time we see each other. But anyway, I make a mean eggnog punch. Sometime, if you're interested, I will share that recipe with you. And let's see. I wanted to say, going back to the, I've been watching everybody. I've got a list of who I'm going to, or who I've been watching. I'm just gonna call off the names, and just so you know, and this is by no means the complete list. It's just the ones I could remember off the top of my head right before I sat down to film this. So if your name is called, please know that I have enjoyed your video. You've been keeping me company for weeks now while I've been working extra hard, and I appreciate them so much, because I don't have a television here at the shop, so pretty much it's floss tube or any kind of video that I already have on the computer to watch. And sometimes I kind of float back and forth between the two. I've been rewatching Outlander, so between you guys and Outlander, I've had company while I've been here. But anyway, big thank you to the following people and all the rest of you that I've watched that I didn't write down. Leslie Hurley, Cindy from Cindy's Cross Stitch, and if you haven't seen her latest video, she unboxed 75 Christmas ornaments, and they're stunning, so you need to go and watch hers if you haven't already. Jen from Jen's Stitching Niche, Teresa Kitten Stitcher. I learn something from her every time I watch her. The Kitchen Stitchers, Arlene, Crystal, and Lisa, they're a hoot. Kindred Stitcher, Lisa. Her stash, I can't even imagine her stash, and her works are beautiful. So check her out if you don't already watch her. Benny Stitching, Michelle Garrett, of course. Pam and Steph, naturally. Pam, or no, not Pam. Sorry, Pam. Steph, I have a story for you. Excuse my list reading. You were talking about in a video or 2 or 3 ago about you wanted to make banana pants a thing. And I have the original banana pants story. So I'm going to tell it to everyone here. Hopefully you'll all enjoy it. It was a little bit awkward in the moment, but it's funny to think back on it now. It happened at market a couple of years ago. It was Connie, Doreen, and I were at market, and we had gotten on the elevator with a bunch of other ladies, and at the last minute, this nice-looking young man enters the elevator. And if you know Connie, you know that her filter is not necessarily everything it should be. And she glances down, and there's a banana sticking out of this man's pants pocket. Now, had I seen the banana, I would just have not said anything. But Connie, being Connie, looks at this nice-looking young man and says, "Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see us?" Everybody in the elevator stops what they're doing. And then of course, laughter erupted. His face turned 10 or 20 shades of red. The doors opened. It wasn't his floor. He is attached to market. I'm not going to name names, but I don't think it was his floor, but he left the elevator. And everyone is still laughing, and the doors close, and we go on about our business. And the next morning, after breakfast, we're sitting down in the area where you're eating, and the nice-looking young man is getting his breakfast, and he's going to leave. He's going to go upstairs because it's about time for the doors to open, and picks up his banana from his plate and starts to put it in his pocket, and then looks at it, shakes his head, and carries it to the elevator with him. So I think she has spoiled him putting his banana in his pocket for the rest of his life. I don't think he'll ever get over that. But it was funny. So there is the original banana pants story for you, Steph. And now we'll continue on with the list. Stitching by the Lake, Marlene, such a sweetie. Nicole, the Buckeye Stitcher. I had to ask her if those kittens have names yet. Pam was Stitching Between the Lines. Kathleen's Trodden Trails. Kathy Haberman. Helen D., she's someone I've just started watching. I'm really enjoying her videos. Caroline with Off the Grid. She's very interesting to listen to. Southern Stitcher. Rags to Stitches. Arlene Cohen, congratulations on getting your designs into Hoffman. That's a big deal. And that's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Angela Meyer, Misty Purcell, Priscilla and Chelsea. Everybody watches them. I probably don't need to say that. Minnie Gray, Lindy Stitches, and Annie Bees. I could keep going, but we'd be here for another hour. So, again, thank you to everyone that makes videos. Of course, we can't watch everybody, but I try. And you've filled a lot of hours of sitting here pinning and stretching, so I thank you very much for that. And with that, I think I am finally finished rambling on. It is now an hour-long video, and it's 4:30, so I am going to head home and try and get this uploaded. And I was supposed to send Dan a list of things to get from the grocery store, and I haven't done that yet. So I don't know what we'll have for supper tonight. The only thing in our refrigerator right now is pickles, and man cannot live by pickles alone, especially this man, because she doesn't eat pickles. So have a great weekend, everybody. Get lots of stitching done. There is a new Hallmark movie on this evening. I will be watching it and stitching on something. I hope you join me. And if I'm not back before Christmas, have a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate Christmas. If you don't, have a very merry holiday season. And I will talk to you again then in the new year, if not before. So take care. Bye-bye.